What's up, guys? I got another project that I'm going to be working on today. It's going to be on my C63. Still got the race wheels on it from when I took it to Sebring back in December. It's honestly just been sitting here. But what I'm battling with is an oil pan leak. Now, I thought it was coming from the upper oil pan, which would require this motor to be supported or taken out while you drop the subframe to then take it out. But after closer inspection, I think it's just the lower oil pan. With that said, there is no gasket, it's make your own. So if we look here, it's just gonna be the RTV, make your own. So I'm gonna be using this. First, we gotta drain the oil. Then we gotta take out every single screw that's there, clean it all up, make sure we have it nice and clean, make our new gasket, put the pan back up, retorque it to spec, and then obviously put in fresh oil. So how hard can it be? So the first order of business that we gotta do is take out the oil. I'm just using this 13 millimeter, take out the oil pan or oil plug, and I just have that I'm gonna be dropping it into. So let me start with that, and then we'll start by taking out the oil pan screws. We're just gonna let this drain here for a while. I want to make sure I get most of it out, because when we drop the pan, I want to make even less of a mess. So let's just sit and watch. Okay, so the oil's draining. There's going to be a series of bolts that go around the outside of the lower oil pan. Those are going to be T30. So this has been very valuable. This and T25. Both of these have been super helpful on most of the things that I needed on this car. So I'm just gonna use this, start untorquing them, unloosening them since that's about done draining. And let's take a look and see what we got. This can't be that hard. So here we go. How hard can it be? Day two, and you know what's funny is, as I took out all the T30 bolts last night, I'm thinking like, okay, when the last one comes, I did it like opposite. So when I got to the last one, I'm like holding it up really hard, thinking the whole pan's just gonna fall down, right? I can't get this pan to fall down or to come off no matter what I do. Now I gotta be super careful because I don't wanna bend the lip of the oil pan at all when I pry, and I don't want to gouge or destroy or hurt the upper oil pan that it rests against, because there goes a good seal, right? So we got to be super careful with how we do this, and there's not much room to get anything in there like a flat blade to try to, you know, break that seal around. I kind of have to look at it and think. I may try to use like a 90-degree flat blade to try to tap it in just a little bit, just to kind of start breaking it apart. But yeah, no, it's super funny. I thought the whole pan was just gonna fall down, and far from it. So I gotta start thinking about how to pry this down without damaging anything so we can reuse it. But that's what I'm up against right now. So back to it. Well, shoot. That's a huge mess. I got the pan down. It took a broken screwdriver and a lot of mess, but it's down. Clean up, aisle one. Here's the oil pan, the lower oil pan I should specify, and I really cleaned up the liquid gasket, I guess you could call it. I just used a putty knife down there over that, and just kind of like really made sure that it was clean. I could probably clean this up a little bit more, but I didn't want to use a power tool like I Dremel. I didn't want to gouge anything. I also cleaned up the oil pan down there that it mates to and made that super clean too. So next, since this is all cleaned up, I'm going to use my RTV sealant that you see hiding right back there to create a new bead around here and put that back up to the upper oil pan and start torquing everything down to 10 Newton meters. So, and then refill it with oil after it probably cures. So I probably won't put oil back in this until I know that that RTV has some time to set. So anyway, just be careful when you start cleaning this up. Again, I like using my hands. I get a better feel for it, and it takes a lot longer to cause some irreversible damage versus using a power tool. So anyway, here's this all cleaned up. Just gonna put some RTV on this and start putting everything back together. The oil pan has now been cleaned up. I used a little bit of brake clean to really make sure all the grease was off. And I did the same for the oil pan, lower of the upper oil pan. So now what I'm gonna do is take the RTV here, make my own bead around and put it up there and torque it to 10 Newton meters. So let me get to this and I'll show you what it's gonna look like. This is what the RTV will look like on it. I may have gone a little overboard, but you know what? I think I would rather have it's for sure sealed than have to do this project again. So this is gonna go up there right now. So let me get my torque wrench out and do that right now. Okay, so took that RTV and I put it on the lower oil pan. I put it up there with all the bolts, and then I used my Harbor Freight electronic torque wrench to tighten everything down to 10 Newton meters. I don't know if I was saying 10 foot-pounds before, but it's 10 Newton meters. So tightened those down, cleaned up the gasket that kind of oozed out, which is fine. Tried to make it look as nice as possible. And I'm just waiting on FCP Euro now. I'm gonna do a full oil change with this. So just waiting on them to do the oil change and we should be good. I got a few more projects coming up ahead. Full brake overhaul. I will post videos of that shortly as I get to that. Again, FCP Euro hooked me up, so thanks to them. But until then, I hope you found this helpful, and let's keep our fingers crossed that this fixes the leak and that it's not somewhere else. I don't think it is, but you never know on these cars. So I learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate everyone that has been subscribing lately and leaving comments. Always look forward to those. So until next time, guys, I'll catch you then.